Hi everyone, it's Peggy Merwin with Stamp with Peggy. Today is Monday, April 21st. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful Easter. We were at my parents', and then my mom's birthday is today, so we kind of celebrated that yesterday. Well, Saturday and Sunday. It was kind of a double celebration. How about that? I was off on Friday. Hopefully you were able to join for Friday lunch with Peggy. And then I was off today, so got caught up on a few things and got tonight's project designed. Watched the Stampin' Up! Update, so I have some happy surprise news. Hopefully you haven't heard it yet, but you may have. Let's see, we have, today's 21st, so you have 9 days yet to participate in April's Card Sketch Challenge. Right now we only have 7 participants, so we need to get those numbers up. I know it's been a crazy busy month, but it's time to get caught up again, right? Let's see, we have 9 days. Well, we have a little more than that. The new catalog begins May 6th, so you have until May 5th to order out of the current catalog, the last chance items. The discontinued list of things that are sold out is growing very quickly, I think. But there are, of course, still lots and lots of fun things. And then there's online exclusives that began in March that are kind of carrying through. So just some fun times. Okay, don't forget to like, tag, share, post somebody out. Let's try to get this to grow. Whoops, I forgot to get things going here. I see people saying hi. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, Roseanne, Mary Ellen, Cheryl, Jackie, and I know not everybody is popping up here, so okay. So don't forget, I have prizes, and this time I have 4 prizes because Friday when I did, I was just kind of hurrying to do, so I forgot to go back and pull names. So I pulled names from there, and then I also pulled names from those of you who were watching and commenting on Friday. Okay, so I have 4 prizes to give away this time. The first one are the rainbow adhesive back dots, and the lucky winner is Linda Vanderspool. So Linda, I'm going to set this aside and I will bring it to the catalog kickoff next Wednesday. Okay, so you'll be getting that. Oh, yay, Teresa received her package today. Good. I still have some that I'm playing catch up on. So if I've named your prize and you haven't gotten it yet, it's still sitting here on my desk waiting for me to get it in the mail. Petal Pink and Pretty Peacock foiled gems. These things are really pretty. These are Judith's Sew Song. So Judith, I'll be popping those in the mail to you. The next one are the Regal foiled adhesive back dots. And the lucky winner there is Mary Ellen Walton. So Mary Ellen, I'll be getting those out to you. And one more set of the Petal Pink and Pretty Peacock foiled gems. Hi, Chris. Is, let's get that straightened out, Nancy Sears. So Nancy, I'll be popping these in the mail to you. Okay, free shipping. Stampin' Up! Just announced that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have free shipping on all orders over $75, okay? So get your wish list out. Start putting stuff down. You know it doesn't take long to get to 75. Throw some seal refills on there. Throw some dimensionals on there because you know you're going to use those. Some basic white cardstock. That's something, and I probably haven't talked about that a lot. I know I've mentioned it. Cardstock is going up to $14 a package. So get in on free shipping. And still get, well, the basic white is at $14 now, but the other colors are all at $11.50 yet. So get your envelopes, get your cardstock, be ready to go with brand new things then next month and get free shipping on it. Tonight, the project that I'm going to do, anybody who places a free shipping order Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday will get a packet to do this project. Okay, and it's not just a single card. Okay, so are you ready to go? Okay, let's get the camera down. Let's find that. Okay, give me a second here. Well, maybe more than a second, huh? Okay, coming back up. Hi, Peg. Thanks for watching. With the free shipping, team members, it is a fabulous time to get your quarterly in now. I know that the new catalog things will be coming also. We also have the opportunity for a really cute tote as demonstrators, and it's a great time to take care of that also. Okay, so we are going to use the stamp set Pattern of Friendship. It's an online exclusive. I checked it just before I got on, and it is available. But what I'm wondering right now is if it is a May 1st online exclusive. And because I was logged in as me, it would allow me to do that. So give me a second here. I'm going to check the customer end. 165383. And yes, it is available right now. It's $18. Again, the item number is 165383. It's just a really cute stamp set. And there is a die that makes, it's kind of like an embossing folder die. I didn't use that tonight, but it kind of coordinates with it a little bit. You don't have to have both, but it's really cool. Okay, I am going to show you the project first for a change because it's a little different, okay? You know, we all love to make cards, right, for all occasions. But sometimes you want to give them as a gift and you want a cute little holder. So here we have, and I'm trying to get it an angle, it's an accordion card holder. It holds the note cards and envelopes, okay? So I have a little Velcro dot on there. I'm using the Timeless Plaid designer paper. Okay, so we have two different prints, okay, and then it opens up, and inside there are 4 different cards, okay, and again, they all use the note card and envelope, okay, so we're just going to go ahead and start right with card number 1, and I'm not going to show you that ahead of time, but when we get to how to assemble, I want to make sure that we have enough time to get through that, okay? So again, the note cards and envelopes are, okay, they are 5 inches tall by 7.5 inches. It's scored at 3.5, so you have a card that is 3.5 by 5, okay? The note cards and envelopes come 20 in a package, the card and envelope for, I'm going to ballpark, I think it's $10. Okay. Then we're using Calypso Coral. That layer's just going to go right on there. And then Petal Pink, which we all know is really not pink. It's kind of a peach, but it goes really well with Calypso Coral. I've distressed it with the Distressed Tile Embossing Folder, which is on the last chance list. If you don't have this one, get that before it's gone, because there are quite a few embossing folders that are leaving. So if you love embossing folders like I do, add those to your list, okay? And again, get in on that free shipping Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I don't mean to bore you, those of you who were on right from the beginning with that, but I want to make sure, and I didn't want to do that. Okay. Now we're going to get our embossing folder. You know what? I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to grab another one that's embossed, and I'm going to trade it out. Okay. I'm going to put this one back on here because I can use it for the other one. Okay. We're going to pull this one back out. Okay. Don't put them together yet. Okay. So I've got my piece here. I'm going to pull in my silicone mat. And then I cut strips of designer paper that are 3/8 of an inch wide. They're by the 6 inches, okay? And so I am going to put adhesive on the whole strip. You really only need 2 strips, okay? Then I'm going to take the first one and I'm going to adhere it down here in the corner. And then I'm going to flip it over and cut it off. I'm going to come back and cut that off, but I'll do that later because right now we're going to take this one and we're going to put it on there also. And then I have a third one. So again, or I should say a second strip, but we're going to put on a third designer paper strip. Okay, and so again, I'm leaving really about a 1/16 of an inch, between a 1/16 of an inch and an 1/8 of an inch between them. Okay, flip it over and cut all those pieces off. This is a great way to use up designer paper, Linda Vanderspool. But it's really good for the scrap pieces too, right? We save them and it's like, what are we going to do with those? There you go. Okay, we're going to cut all the extra pieces off, the edges. Bring my garbage over closer to me. Okay. Now, it's going to adhere onto here, but we're going to cut these apart. And I need my big scissors. Okay. So first, we're going to start here. And I'm cutting right along the edge of the designer paper. Hi, Marianne. Okay. That's going to end up going there. Then I'm going to just cut each of them apart. This little corner is going to come down here, but I'm not going to adhere anything until I have all of my pieces laying there. I just saw there's a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to cut this one. And again, you're going right along the designer paper. Okay. Hi, Pam. Thanks for joining. Okay. I heard lots of good comments about Easter Bunny's Basket of Fun. You guys enjoyed that. I am looking at and starting to plan for a summer fun in the sun tote to fill with some fun. It won't be holiday, but it will be some fun summer type things. Okay. So keep an eye out for that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this piece, the large one, down first. And I'm going to do it so that I'm watching all of the other pieces for layout also. Okay, so we got to get that one back in there. I got sticky sticking everywhere. And I saw somebody liked the summer fun in the sun, right? Also, I think I am going to this summer do a kids class, an in-person kids class. We haven't done that for a while. It's actually been a few years since I did that. So I think that'll be fun. I had thought, oh, I should do that for Mother's Day, but that's a little too close to try to get it planned and everything else, right? Okay, so we're going to stick this. Whoops, we got to center it a little bit. Hi, Deb. Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay, that one's stuck on there. Then we're going to take the longest one and we're going to put adhesive. And then we're just going to, again, remember I said about a 1/16, 1/8 to a 1/16 of an inch. So we're going to do that again. And we're going to adhere that one down. And then we're going to stick this one down. And I see a few of you hopping on that may have missed in the beginning. I announced there is a free shipping. Stampin' Up! Is offering free shipping Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week. So tonight's project, if you place an order during free shipping days of $75 or more to get free shipping, you will get a packet to make tonight's project. All the pieces will be cut. There won't be any stamping. So if you don't have the pattern of friendship, you have two choices. You can add one to your order, or you can use another stamp set with a greeting. Okay, but otherwise everything will be die cut. It will be embossed. It will be ready for you to make. Okay, so we're going to adhere this to the front of our card. Again, we're using the note card and envelopes. Okay, so there's that. Then I use stylish shapes. That's going to go there. I used the 2 3/8 inch circle punch, and I stamped Happy Birthday from the pattern of friendship. And that's what I used on all 4 cards. I used this one on the front of, no I didn't. I used this one on the front of the holder. Okay, so I'm just going to adhere this down flat onto the Calypso Coral. Yay! All right, so we're going to adhere that onto there. We are going to, of course, use dimensionals. Okay, so this time with this bigger circle, I am going to put all 4 of these. And then we're just going to stick that right onto here. Kind of overlap just a little bit, but we want those little ginghams to show. And then, and I lost a piece. There it is. Okay. Then I used the Beautiful Butterflies die to die cut Calypso Coral butterfly. And then the body of the butterfly is die cut with gray granite. Okay, so we're going to stick that right onto there. The other butterflies are all done, but I thought I would do one right with you. Okay, then I'm going to use a mini glue dot or a piece of a glue dot, not glue dot, dimensional. Okay, and then we're going to stick that. Oops. You know what? That's a thicker. I don't like that on there. Okay. Now we're going to cut a piece. Where's my scissors? Okay, we're going to come right in here and we're just going to snip. For some reason, that mini glue dot seemed thicker than my not glue dot, my thicker than the regular dimensional. Okay, I'm not going to put dimensional clear down here because it's going to kind of hang off the bottom edge and it wouldn't stick well, right? Okay, and so there's the first card. And so we're just going to take the envelope and we're going to stick it in there. Then we're going to move on to the second card. So I am going to pull that card out of my holder. Okay, and get all my little pieces. Okay, so again, we have the same card base that is 5 inches by 7.5, scored at 3.5. Okay, so there's that. Then we have, again, our Calypso Coral that is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. I have a piece of the designer paper that is 1.5 inches by 4.5 inches. Thanks. You guys liked card number 1. Okay. I did all 4 cards. I think I said that already with birthday because it seems to be that's what we need the most. Although lately it's been sympathy cards. Okay. Then I have another piece of the Petal Pink that I embossed with a distressed tile. It is 1 5/8 by 2 1/8. And then I have a piece of the designer paper that's 1 5/8 by 2 1/4. Okay, so we're going to put this down here. We're going to match up the bottom edges. Isn't that paper? The Timeless Plaid paper is so pretty. And with that paper, you could make so many different combinations. I had some excess of these two prints, so I'm like, it will be perfect, right? Well, yeah, we'll need Mother's Day soon. Well, and that's what I thought too, Cheryl, with this packet. It could be a fun little Mother's Day gift to throw in a basket with stuff, even for daughters who are mothers, daughter-in-laws who are mothers, friends who are mothers. Okay, look at how pretty that is, okay? Then we are going to, I die cut using the Everday Arches. And so I stamped again the happy birthday. And we're going to use dimensionals to put this on. Okay, one there. Oh, that went without a cover. Okay. This is when Roseanne says she loves the colors. This is when those of you who don't like Petal Pink, it's really just such a nice combination with Calypso Coral. Okay, I'm going to line the edge up with the designer paper so that the Calypso Coral still shows through, going right over that intersection. And then I have another butterfly. We're going to add the butterfly up here this time. Okay, so I'm going to take another little piece of the strip of my dimensionals. The dimensionals are fighting back tonight. Okay, and I'm going to stick that kind of right in that main part of the body. And then we're going to put that right there. Again, just very sweet and simple. Get your designer papers, and this would even be a great mass-produced project because you could just get your designer papers and stuff all cut and then boom, just sit and assemble. Could do that right in front of the TV at night, right? Okay, so again, we have our base that is 5 inches by 7.5, scored at 3.5. Okay, this is the one I already put together before. Okay, so this one can go right on my card base. If you joined me on Friday for the live and you did not see today's blog post, you will want to go check that out. I made some changes to the double flap card to the front of it so that it showed a little better than trying to outline it. So, Cheryl, I agree. It really should kind of be Petal Peach instead of Petal Pink. Okay, now we have a piece of Calypso Coral that is 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. We are going to adhere that. Sure we are. Okay, we're going to adhere that right across here. I don't know, about 1/3 of the way up. How's that? Then I cut 2 pieces of the designer paper that are 3/4 of an inch by 2 7/8. And we are going to adhere them to Calypso Coral. And these are, and you're going to love this, they are, so let's see, 15/16 of an inch. So it's the little line between 7/8 and an inch. 1 inch was too wide, just too much space, but worked really, really well on the one in between. All right, what did Annie just, I would never use Petal Pink as if it was pink, but to use it as a peach, it's perfect. Absolutely. And that's why, again, it goes so well with Calypso Coral. I kind of like that monochromatic look with the lights and the darks, and it works perfect for that. Okay, so now we are going to adhere. Let's try to center this a little bit, right? Okay, we're going to come in here and we're going to add these designer paper strips, leaving just a little bit of space in between them, but a little extra color here. Okay, then I use the textured notes die for my happy birthday, and I'm going to use it anyways, but I had a hair touching on the stamp pad, so I have a little extra color strip there. All right, so now we're going to add our dimensionals. And we're going to use this, you know how I like to border them, right? We're kind of going to just do that. We're going to put that right across there. And then, yes, we have another butterfly. So I need another little piece. And I'm going to put that right across there. And then we're going to stick that right here. So look, there's no bling on these. The butterfly is our bling on each one of these cards. So look at that. We've done 3 already. Okay, so there's the third one. We have one more card. And then we'll do the holder. Okay, so again, we have our note card, 5 inches by 7.5, scored at 3.5. And I keep saying 7.5. It's not. It's 7 inches. It just all of a sudden hit me. 3.5 would not be the center. Okay, so we have our Calypso Coral again. That is 3.25 by 4.75. So we're just going to adhere that onto there. Then I have a piece of Petal Pink. That is 1.5 inches. Yes, 1.5 by 4.5. And again, I used the distressed tile on this. Okay, so we're going to adhere that. We're going to go on the left side. Giving it an even border. Okay, then I have a piece of the designer paper. That is 2 inches by 3 inches. And we're going to adhere that. And I started out originally thinking, okay, and yeah, that goes well. But I really liked the little more pastels. I've told you many times I'm very much a seasonal stamper with whatever the season is. Those are the colors that I like right then. So pretty soon it'll be changing to more of the bright ones. Okay, then I have a square of the designer paper, the opposite one, that is 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. What does Petal Pink look like again? Against Balmy Blue. It will go. I would put it more with Misty Moonlight. Balmy Blue is a little bit brighter for me, but it works well also. Okay, so here... yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I'm overlapping those two so that it kind of shows all of them. And then I took the Stylish Shapes dies and stamped the happy birthday on the big banner, but then I cut it off at 2 7/8 inch. And then, of course, dimensionals. Okay. Oops. All right, and then we're going to go right across the seam here. And again, I'm going to line it up with the edge of the Petal Pink so that it shows there. Okay, and of course, we have another butterfly. So we're going to add our butterfly originally. Yep, we're going to put him right there. Okay, so then, whoops. Shot my dimensional clear across the table. Okay. You're making me eager to use the Timeless Plaid paper. It is such awesome paper. Yeah, if you don't have that, you have to get that in your free shipping order. I mean, that's just an absolute must. Okay. So there's our 4th card. All right. Should we put the cards all out together here? And I've got the envelopes tucked inside. So, okay, there's the 4th one, the 3rd one, the second one, and the first one. Okay, so look at how adorable. And again, they didn't take much designer paper or really cardstock. You've got the blues or the white basic ones, right? No butterflies for the guide cards, but you could easily switch it into something else. If you have the toolkit, the Tastefully Tools dies, those are gone now, I think, but we've had them for a couple years. You could add those on and make them very masculine looking. Cheryl, you could put sailboat things. There is a new sailboat set in the new upcoming catalog that is to die for. That would be really cute on this set of cards. Okay, now we are going to make the holder. So let me show it again for those of you who came in late. Okay, so there's the front. It's an accordion holder. It's got Velcro to hold it shut, okay, so that it does stay closed. And then it accordions so that there is a spot for each card. I forgot to put my fourth one here back in. Thanks, Chris. Okay, so to make the holder, we start with a piece of 6 by 12 basic white cardstock, okay? So you can get 2 of them out of each sheet of 12 by 12. And we're going to score it at, now let me find my cheat sheet over here. Okay, we're going to score it at 2 3/4, 3 1/8, 7 3/8, and 7 3/4, okay? 2 3/4, 3 1/8, 7 3/8, and 7 3/4. And then we are going to fold and burnish it on all the score lines. Okay. And then I'm seeing you guys like these cards. Remember, you can get your own set to create or to assemble, stamp and assemble, just by placing an order Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday this week with the free shipping, $75 order, and I will mail you a packet to make these. Okay, I'm pulling in my paper trimmer because you also need 4 regular envelopes, the regular size envelopes that we always use. Okay, I've already done these. You are going to put this in your trimmer and you're going to cut it off at 4 1/8 inches. And I'm looking, it's not quite showing. Okay, we're going to cut it off at 4 1/8. We're taking the flap right off from it. Okay, that's garbage or used for whatever you want. Okay, so that we have like this. Now, like I said, I've already done it on the other 3. Then we're going to adhere these together. And I found out the hard way. Put it on the front of the envelope, not the back. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first 2 envelopes. On the second envelope, I'm just putting some glue right down the center, not the sides. Okay, and then we're just going to line them up. The glue is easier because, you know, we can shimmy it a little bit if we need to line things up. Okay, now we're going to take and add a 3rd envelope. And again, we're putting the glue right in the center. My first sample, I did do it with seal, but you got to be really careful when you set them down that they line up. So I highly recommend the green glue. And then the 4th one, again, I'm not putting glue past here because otherwise you're going to seal your envelope shut and won't be able to put your card inside. Okay, line up all your edges. Okay, now we're going to take our base. We've got a 4 1/4 inch section here. We've got the 2 3/4 inch section at the top. We're going to deal with this center 4¼ portion. Okay. Again, I only want to put, so now I'm going to take my stack of envelopes and I'm going to turn them over to the back. We only want to put glue in the center, again, not down the sides. Okay. And then we're just going to center it side to side, even with the score line at the bottom, and it should be just below the score line at the top. Okay. All right. Now we have one more gluing. Now we're going to glue this to this. Again, you don't want it past this top part. Okay. So we're going to glue. And then we're going to fold. And we're going to make sure it doesn't go below this second score line on the top part. Okay. And right now it looks really flat. Okay. But once you get those cards in there, it will puff right up with all that thickness. Okay. Now let's decorate and make this pretty. So we have our Calypso Coral. This is, and so I measured the front here. It's 5 3/4. It is so easy, Deb. 5 3/4 by 4 inches. Then I took the designer paper that's 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. If you get one of these kits, I haven't done it yet, but I will I'll type up a tutorial. You'll have this video to come back and watch. If not on Facebook, because if you don't know, Facebook videos disappear after 30 days. But it will be on my Stamp with Peggy blog, and it will be on my Stamp with Peggy YouTube channel. Right now, it does not disappear from there. Okay. So I've put my designer paper onto the Calypso Coral. So you will have all of the measurements. I will try to put together the measurements for the YouTube and the blog post, but you won't have written directions. The only way you get the written tutorial is by placing the order and getting the kit. Okay. All right, so that goes on there. Then we have another piece, the other designer paper. And again, this one is 2 1/2 by 5 3/4 and 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. So those of you who we like to say hoard designer paper, just think of all the pretty card sets you could make with all the coordinating designer papers, right? I can't wait to pull out some of the new designer papers and try a couple of these that way too. But, you know, it's just really nice gift. I have a meeting at the end of April. So I'm like, I wonder how many of these I can get done to take along as gifts for the people. Okay, that's going on the lid. So there's our little holder. I did the, I think most of us are hoarders, Cheryl. Okay, so I did the Spotlight on Nature die with the little ridges, the 2 3/8 inch circle punch, and then stamped the thanks for being the best, because I think that can work for so many different things. And then I added I used Petal Pink this time for the butterfly and added that to the front. Okay. Now I have my little mini Velcro dot on there, and I have my dimensionals. I want one more dimensional right there. Okay. So I'm going to stick this on first. Look at this. We did this in almost 30 minutes. Okay, we're going to come up a little bit more, except you know what? I'm going to take my cards. Before I put that on, because it's so flat at the moment, I want the bulk in there to help me get things lined up properly. Okay. All right. Okay. So now I can close and see how it's kind of a whole, holds it together a little bit better. Okay, so now let's put this on. I just saw a couple questions and I'll go back and look at those and answer those in just a second. Okay, we're going to stick those on there. We're going to peel the back off from our Velcro dot and then make sure that sticks well. And then there we go. We have our beautiful little gift, right? Okay, so now let's go back and take a look because I saw a couple. Love the colors, love the cards. Thank you so much. Excuse me. Okay, there were, oh, and now the comments are gone that I can't see. Excuse me. Okay, I will go back in and I will answer the questions. I think, Deb, you asked, when can we order out of the new catalog? That'll be May 6th. Okay, we can't do it before then. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say, the new website, the new rewards are all in and available. So before you place an order on Wednesday, in order to get the rewards, which if you have not heard is 10% of your order of your product before tax and shipping, anything over $20. So the free shipping, $75 order would get you $7.50 in rewards to use on your next order, or hold it until you have a bigger order that you want to use it on. But to do that, you have to opt in, which means you have to go to the Stampin' Up! Website. If you have already been ordering online, you have an online account, which should be your email and a password. A box will pop up about opting in for rewards. You have to say, yes, you want to opt in. If you don't do that, you will not get the rewards. It won't show, it won't build up, okay? And it's really, really easy to do. I kind of glanced through my customer list before I got on just to see, and there's quite a few of you that are on my customer list, but right now you have not opted in for rewards. So make sure you do that, otherwise you won't get those rewards, okay? I sent an email out with instructions on how to do it. If you have questions, please let me know. Yes, Judith, you will be getting a catalog. I'm kind of working on those right now. Those who are coming to next week's Coffee, Cocoa, and Cards catalog kickoff will be getting a spiral bound catalog. The other ones I will be putting in the mail yet this week. So you should have it by the beginning of next week. Or right around in there, okay? Those who are more local, those who are further away, it'll take a little bit longer. But those will be going out in the mail, especially if you have been ordering. If you have not been ordering and you want one, pop me a message so that I know that you are interested. The postage on these catalogs is a little bit more, so I'm a little choosier on who I mail these to, but I am happy to mail one to you if you would like one, okay? So everybody have a fabulous week. Again, any orders of $75 or more, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, you get free shipping. Remember, that's like an 11% savings. And then you will also get this kit to be able to make this project, okay? Unless you guys really surprise me with orders, I have enough of this designer paper in the same color scheme to be able to make up quite a few of these sets, okay? So have a fabulous week. I will see you next Monday, and enjoy the weather. Bye-bye.